Hello and welcome to my cultural comparison assignment. The country that I chose to talk about is Brazil, and the dish that I made in this video is a Brazilian picadillo. Now, picadillo is a ground beef concoction. It's popular in many Caribbean and Latin American countries. The ingredients in picadillo obviously vary from country to country, but generally speaking, picadillo is made with ground beef, olives, tomatoes, and various different types of spices. Now, Cuban picadillo is among the most popular variations of this dish, and it's made with raisins and olives, for example. Now, not every picadillo is cooked or served the same way. For example, in this video, or in general, in Brazil, picadillo is made with olives instead of raisins, and it's commonly served with white rice, like I have done so in my video. Alright, so now we're on to the 6 cultural determinants of Brazil using the Hofstede Insights. Now, Brazil has a power distance of 69, and with its score being at 69, we see that Brazil represents a society that clearly believes in hierarchy, and the difference in power distribution also shows that those with power in Brazil have more benefits compared to those with less power. And it's also very important in Brazil to show respect to the elderly and for children to care for their elderly parents. In a workplace setting, there's usually one boss who has the responsibility of the whole company, and social positions are important in Brazil to indicate each person's responsibilities and roles. Now, we can compare this to Canada's power distance at 39. So, again, Canada has a lower power distance, meaning less difference in and belief in the social hierarchy system, so to say, compared to Brazil's at 69. Brazil has an individualism rating of 38, which tells us that people are largely put into groups where teamwork is associated and family is generally close. In Brazil, people are expected to help each other and less of themselves, like focusing on themselves and for their own self-interests. For example, if someone in a family is older and owns a business, it's expected that this person will allow a younger person in this family to work for his company. Individual trust is very important in Brazil, and it is common to build up trust and conversations between two parties to occur at a deeper level before they get into business with each other, for example. Now, we can compare this to Canada's individualism rating at a whopping 80, meaning that people are more self-interested and there's less about thinking about the society as a whole. Brazil has a masculinity rating at 49, and this is an intermediate score, and there's a mix between of both competition and caring for others. Canada has a score of 52 in this division, so again, very similar. In terms of certainty and avoidance, Brazil has a very high score at 76. And this score shows us that people in this country rely heavily on rules and regulations, which bring structure in their lives, compared to Canada's uncertainty avoidance score at 48. Brazil also has a long-term orientation score of 44. This is another intermediate score, and this tells us that Brazil isn't too pushy on maintaining their society's values and bringing them forth into the future, but it isn't too negligent either in this regard. compared to Canada's score at 36. So again, pretty much similar for both countries. Brazil has an indulgent score of 59. This tells us that this society is quite indulgent and they like to have fun and generally enjoy life. They have a positive attitude and are quite optimistic. This also tells us that they spend money as they wish and have a great importance for recreational activities. Canada's score in this regard is at a 68. So again, we as Canadians and North Americans, I guess, are generally higher on indulgence and just having fun, I guess. Yep. So yeah, this pretty much concludes my little video on Brazil and their dish that I made here, and we can see my sister over here seeing my dish and what she liked about it. Oh my gosh, this was quite funny.
The beef.
You like the olive the most?
Yeah, I don't like the meat. Kidding, I love it. I was just joking. Okay. Yeah,